The lights may have dimmed on the surface, but behind the velvet ropes and filtered Instagram stories, the shadows had begun to move, and in those shadows stood Erica, her voice trembling yet laced with iron as she stepped onto the metaphorical stage of accusations. Her claim wasn't just another tabloid headline, it was a detonation. She accused Mendeecees of orchestrating a secret drug smuggling operation that had, according to her, operated under the noses of not just the fans and the industry, but under Yandy's too. The world gasped. Fans froze mid-scroll. Suddenly, the curated images of Mendeecees and Yandy at black-tie galas and red carpet events took on a sinister undertone. It wasn't just gossip, it felt like revelation. Social media erupted as footage leaked of Erica confronting Mendeecees backstage. In a moment so raw it looked scripted but wasn't. Her eyes were lit with betrayal, and Yandy stood to the side, unmoving, paralyzed by a truth she hadn't seen coming. While some fans stood by Mendeecees, crying foul and labeling Erica as an opportunist hungry for relevance, others couldn't shake the eerie feeling that this was the culmination of whispers that had lingered for years. Anonymous insiders came forward, hinting that Erica had stumbled upon encrypted shipping manifests tied to warehouses allegedly run by Mendeecees' inner circle. The police, staying quiet publicly, had reportedly begun discreet inquiries, and caught between love and devastation was Yandy, her entire identity shaken. According to her closest friends, she couldn't reconcile the man she defended on television with the version Erica was describing. The tension thickened as fans began demanding receipts, and Mendeecees' PR team scrambled to release a cold, formal denial. These accusations are outrageous and entirely without merit. But Erica was not finished. She vowed to bring proof. She promised this wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. In private, Erica's fingers trembled against her designer dress as she relived every moment. The hush of the backstage hallway, the click of her heels, the flash of the paparazzi, and the moment she leaned in close to Mendeecees and whispered, "What's in those bags you keep flying with?" She saw it, that flicker in his smile, gone in a blink. "You don't know what you're talking about," he said, but she did. She had followed the trail of late-night deliveries, of taped-up boxes labeled with cryptic symbols, routed through the very same warehouse that Mendeecees had claimed was for promotional material. And when she exploded backstage, screaming that he had been moving product for months, Yandy didn't deny it. She didn't do anything. She just stood there, caught in the crossfire of truth and disbelief. The footage leaked. The fans debated. Was Yandy complicit, or just another pawn? Commentators, bloggers, and gossip columnists chimed in like vultures circling a fresh kill. Inside sources claimed it all began when Erica noticed new designer luggage appearing and disappearing from Mendeecees' closet. She discovered hidden compartments. Inside, small vials of white powder and brass-stamped letters that matched known smuggling symbols from a notorious East Coast trafficking ring. Her hands shook as she pocketed the evidence. That night, shaking with adrenaline, Erica called Yandy. "I need to show you something," she whispered. "It's about your husband." Silence. Then, quiet sobs. "I'm on my way." When Yandy arrived, her face was already red. She found Erica pacing, holding a folder of damning documents. Yandy didn't yell. She didn't accuse. She looked broken. "Are you sure?" she asked. Erica pressed the papers into her hands, and Yandy stared at them like they were ancient curses, unraveling the image she had built. Then came the bank statements, the intercepted phone calls, the maps connecting drop points to fake businesses. Yandy collapsed onto the floor, whispering, "How could he?" But outside that room, Mendeecees' loyal followers were already crafting a counter-narrative. A close friend released a public statement claiming Erica was lying out of jealousy, fame hunger, or revenge. But whispers persisted. A flight attendant, granted anonymity, claimed she was offered hush money to ignore suspicious crates on Mendeecees' private flights. when an argument between Mendeecees and a gaunt associate leaked, showing them outside a club at dawn, panicked and discussing moving tonight before they get too close. The internet erupted. They was assumed to be Erica. Then came the confrontation between Yandy and Mendeecees. "Who is he?" she asked, referencing the courier seen in leaked footage. "What is he to you?" Mendeecees stared at her with empty eyes and muttered, "This is bigger than us." She didn't blink. "Then I will expose it alone." He walked away, but the cameras didn't. That moment of Yandy standing alone as the truth shattered around her was broadcast to millions. Fans began choosing sides. Some called Erica brave. Others called her calculated. Some insisted Yandy had always known. Others swore she was a victim. Erica, fueled by sleepless nights and moral obligation, held a press conference in a downtown loft, revealing timelines, recorded calls, and tracking codes. She pressed play on a recording. "Move it at midnight? Yandy can't know." The room gasped. Photographers snapped. Bloggers scrambled. Yandy, seated behind her, wept silently, her grief broadcast to the world. Meanwhile, a rival network aired footage of Mendeecees arriving at a hotel, flanked by lawyers and security, denying everything. But fans noticed the way his hands shook, the way his voice cracked. The illusion was fading. In the background, Yandy texted Erica, "We need to talk." The reply came fast, "We face them together." They weren't just co-stars anymore. They were allies, soldiers, survivors. Together, they traced shell companies, gathered receipts, and interviewed the whistleblower flight attendant. She brought flight logs, video from the jet, names of shell firms. The final nail, a cryptic text. "To Yandy, meet me at the old warehouse. I have proof." She went alone, fearless. The man who met her, a former associate, handed her an envelope before disappearing into the night. Inside, photos of crates marked with Mendeecees' signature. Video of an exchange under a bridge. Yandy crumbled too. The ground, the truth confirmed. Leaks hit the blogs instantly. Yandy's midnight meeting. Mendeecees' fury. Find the snitch and shut her down. He barked. But it was too late. The truth was out. Erica and Yandy handed everything to a respected investigative blog. The blog published a bombshell, a coordinated smuggling ring masked by charity events and celebrity endorsements. As headlines exploded and fans called for arrests, Mendeecees released a video. "I'll cooperate," he said. This is a smear campaign, but his voice lacked conviction. Yandy watched it silently, feeling nothing but clarity. She texted Erica, "What's next?" The response was simple, "We finished this." As dawn broke across the city, casting long shadows over a world still reeling from the fallout, Yandy stood in her dimly lit mansion, eyes locked on the news coverage that now dominated every major outlet. Helicopter footage showed uniformed officers arriving at her estate, warrant in hand, to seize electronic records tied to the growing investigation. The gates opened slowly, reluctantly, as if the house itself wasn't ready to surrender its secrets. Behind a velvet curtain, Yandy watched them step inside, silent, focused, methodical. Her heart pounded, not from guilt, but from the sheer weight of public judgment crashing down upon her home. Behind her, Erica whispered calmly, "Stay grounded. You've done nothing wrong." But nothing felt steady anymore. The life she had built with Mendeecees, the empire, the image, the illusion was unraveling thread by thread. Meanwhile, a new weapon entered the arena. A smear blog, likely funded by Mendeecees' team, posted a sensational claim that Erica and Mendeecees had once been romantically involved. The implication was clear. Jealousy fueled her mission. The internet, as expected, split down the middle. Some accused Erica of chasing clout. Others pointed to the hard evidence, calling the smear a last-ditch distraction. Unbothered, Erica kept moving. In a dim garage, she met once again with the flight attendant turned whistleblower. Who handed over a second, thicker envelope? I have more, she said quietly. Flight logs, voice recordings from the jet, offshore accounts. But be careful, they know I'm talking. That night, a new wave of subpoenas hit the shell companies tied to Mendeecees, and federal agents raided the East Coast warehouses where Erica had first unearthed the mysterious crates. The footage aired in real-time rows of boxes, manifest books, stamps bearing secret emblems. It was no longer a rumor. Even law enforcement admitted the case had merit. That same day, Mendeecees, cornered in his high-rise bunker, faced his advisors. His publicist ranted in panic. The narrative's slipping, we need a new angle. One lawyer suggested a settlement. Another advised a full-blown press conference with celebrity endorsements. But Mendeecees, hollow-eyed, stared out at the skyline, murmuring, I can't buy my way out of this. He finally agreed. Take it to court. Fight everything. Back at the safe house, Erica and Yandy met with their legal team and a crisis manager. Charts covered the walls. Witnesses had been contacted. Affidavits secured. This might cost you everything, one lawyer warned. Yandy, eyes filled with grit, replied, then let it cost me. But I'll walk away clean. That night, she filmed a candid video. No makeup, no glam. Just raw truth. I loved someone who betrayed me, she said to the lens. I believed in a dream that turned out to be a lie. But I choose truth over reputation. Her words cracked through the internet like lightning, trending worldwide under hashtag justice for Yandy Y. Meanwhile, Erica, steady as ever, released a written statement to the press. Measured. Resolved. No theatrics. She spoke of duty, friendship, and the moral cost of silence. Loyalty isn't covering for crimes, she wrote. It's standing with the ones left broken by them. And then came the final twist. Late at night, Mendeecees' former assistant, long rumored to have vanished, appeared at his penthouse door. Her eyes met his. I did what I had to do, she said coldly. Now you owe me the truth. He didn't answer. He didn't have to. That same morning, national headlines screamed, federal agents launch investigation into alleged smuggling ring tied to Mendeecees. The fallout was instant. Corporate sponsors severed ties. Cherry boards suspended collaborations. Old interview clips resurfaced, now scrutinized through a different lens. The empire of smiles and filtered perfection collapsed like a house of cards. Inside the safe house, Yandy and Erica met with a spiritual advisor. A candle flickered between them as they whispered fears and hopes. I'm afraid of what's coming, Yandy admitted. Erica took her hand. Then let's face it, head on. No more hiding. The legal battle ramped up fast. Depositions, hearings, leaked transcripts, courtroom dates. The media couldn't get enough. Twitter trended with each revelation. TikTok exploded with breakdowns of audio clips and courtroom sketches. But Yandy, for the first time in years, began to sleep without nightmares. She knew who she was now. Not a wife, not a prop, but a woman who stood for truth. Erica, too, found a strange peace. Her mission had grown beyond revenge. It had become a movement, a cultural reckoning on loyalty, fame, and the price of silence. And then, for the first time since the scandal broke, Mendeecees stepped outside, surrounded by cameras and reporters. He raised his hand and said only, I have nothing to say. Yet, the world watched him disappear back into the building, a silent man at the center of a very loud storm. Back in the safe house, Yandy sat beside Erica, watching it all unfold. He changed everything, she whispered. And now, Erica said, so did we. What had begun as a private betrayal had spiraled into a national headline, a courtroom showdown, a dismantling of image and illusion. In the days to come, court transcripts would surface, witnesses would testify, and yet, no matter what the outcome, two things had already been made clear. The empire Mendeecees built wasn't as clean as it seemed. And the two women at its center, Erica and Yandy, refused to be anyone's silent casualties. They had chosen the battlefield, they had brought the receipts, and they weren't turning back.